Today, I'm going to make myself a trillionaire in the wisest way possible, with cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
At least I have an RV to start out in. Would probably be further ahead cooking meth, but cryptocurrency is probably as smart. But it's time for our first miner for $60. Now I don't even have to tap, but I'm still going to because $130 is not enough to retire on. Now we can get into the crypto. Since we made $500, that's a minimum requirement. So if we invest $300, every tap gets us $2 instead. And to fuel all this activity, we have our very own power pole now, plus we just stole $30 from a truck. Armed robbery along with crypto investing. So basically, if I'm tapping as fast as I can, we're in $13 to $15 a second range. But I don't like manually clicking a lot because I'm lazy, so we're going to buy the passive income. After spending $700 on that, we're up to $6 per second. Now I don't have to tap it if I don't want to. So then let's invest almost another $1,000 into this, and now we're up to $9 per second. And that means if I'm tapping as fast as I can, we're up to $23 a second. Okay, after hijacking another vehicle, we're up to about $2,800. So we're now going to upgrade our tapping skills. And we've basically doubled our tapping value. So even now at a pretty hardy tapping rate, we're up to $37 a second. If I really get aggressive with it, I can get up to $50 a second, but I'm not going to do that often. Maybe this crypto stuff really is worth it. I made $2,100 in 10 seconds. And now that I made $2,400, we can level this up one more time, and I'm pretty sure that gets me close to Bitcoin. And we can also use the PC now for $1,000. That's going to give us an extra 4 per second, so we're going to do that twice. $18 a second now for doing nothing at all. We have the tapping to that, we could probably get it over 100. And there's $4,800, so we're going to level this up one more time. Now we get all Cerium. So now we're getting $12 per tap, which puts our money way up. There's $150 a second plus a golden motorcycle. Oh, plus I have super value tapping, so we're making like $1,000 per tap. So this is a huge increase. I probably should have tried a little harder at that. I just couldn't be bothered. $85,000 though. So we're going to buy a few more little upgrades. This is going to add a little bit. This is going to add a lot more. So that's adding 1 per second. This is adding 4 per second, 5 per second. Then I can also buy a crypto cloud. That's going to add 20 per second. I think if I was making $214 a second, I'd probably move out of my RV. I did, however, buy a car and a satellite dish. Plus I have a free spin that'll hopefully make me even richer. That looks pretty good. Receive cash worth 4,000 times your miner income per second. $854,000. Oh, because we almost made ourselves into a millionaire, we got to move into the suburbs, where we still get to hijack vehicles. So now what do I spend all my money on? A high-end graphics card? $300,000 for a graphics card? That must be a good one. That's going to add 91 per second all by itself. So I'm going to spend the rest of my money on this one. Now we're making $862 a second, and if I tap enough, that'll go over $1,000 per second, which is pretty good money. But I still need to get binary coins, so I'm going to start upgrading my clicking again, so now we're making $18 per click. So it doesn't take long at all to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, but that's not trillions. A little boost, however, did just earn us $81,000, so we're up to 150 total. So let's get one of those, one more level and we get binary coin. Oh, and we get 100 times tap boost for 20 seconds, so once we start that...
My finger's going to be very tired after this one.
But there's $600,000, so we're going to upgrade this again, and now we have our binary coin, so now we get many more per click, $52 per click. Plus we're going to upgrade our graphics card one more time, so we're making $2,000 per second. The real value in this game is hijacking vehicles, though. Every time we touch those things, we get huge bonuses. And those are only going to get bigger as we go, because they're based off of our base earnings. I feel like to progress, I've got to unlock the Interstellar coin. That's going to get expensive though, because these upgrades are already $600,000. So I don't know if I even want to do these ones. But I'm pretty sure if I upgrade this PC a few more times, it's actually going to triple its output to 337 per second. So that's huge. Would like to do the same with the rest of these miners, but it's going to be a while before we have that much money. And after making millions, tens of millions of dollars, we can afford house decorations like shrubs. And then when I'm feeling particularly rich, I can spend $318 million to write a crypto book. And I just got some kind of boost to my miners. So I'm making about $100,000 per second right now, which is great because I really needed the money. I was feeling a little broke. And then we also have one of these, receive cash worth 150 times. So there's another 650,000 on top of my huge amounts of money I'm making currently. But thanks to this boost, I can also buy an ASIC miner. That's going to put me up to $132,000 per second with these boosts. So I might as well buy all of these that I can also, because I'll just get paid back basically instantly for these. So I'm okay with that kind of movement. The boost wore off and I'm down to a paltry $7,000 per second. I looked away for what felt like 10 seconds and I've got $5.2 million to spend. Should I try upgrading my tap more? I don't really want to, I just feel like I'm going to miss out on something good if I don't. And I'm out of money anyway, but I'm pretty sure one more level gets better taps, and my taps are now getting $88, so it's actually pretty good. And I actually have a quest to buy 6 crypto cloud, and that's not actually as expensive as I thought it would be. It took me from $500 to $1,500 per second. So my base income right now is about $12,000 a second. And because I bought the 6 crypto clouds, I received cash for 300 times my miner income, so there's 3.5 million. And after making all this money, we bought ourselves a sports car. We make like $10 million an hour when we bought a single sports car. Decided to relax for a minute, and that brought us up to $13.7 million, and that really adds up quick. So we're going to upgrade our tapping. Now we have Interstellar coin. So every time we touch this now, $203. And I realized if I go like this, I can actually tap like 40 something times a second. So that adds up quickly when I want to bother to do this. Which, I won't lie to you, isn't very often. I'm just going to keep buying these things because these give me the most money. The crypto cloud is actually the best one right now. It costs a little bit more than a high-end graphics card, but it gets me 3 times as much. But that's also why I should upgrade the high-end graphics card. So we'll work our way towards level 25, it's just going to be a minute. And I'm going to use the USB miner, which is still quite cheap, to hopefully get to level 50 and confirm where the next upgrade lies. And I do like this wheel that shows up once in a while. Receive a 22 times miner boost for 50 seconds. So for a few minutes we're going to make $573,000 a second. I'll take it. And we get extra tap value too, so this is going to be a high earning minute. And we can get our last 2 levels for the USB, which is going to triple its output again, so we're up to 10,000 per second just on it. And that's pretty good. We've got $30 million to spend already, so that's going to add up quickly. I'm going to try and do the high-end graphics card to level 25 next, because that's going to be a big boost once we finally get there. Only 4 more levels. And we're up to $33,000 per second, so that's lots. We're getting so close to level 25 for the graphics cards. 2 more levels, gonna be almost $20 million more. Okay, we saved up the $20 million we're gonna need to do this, so 1 and 2. That boosted from 2,000 up to almost 7,000 per second. I also just realized that if I boost the offline earnings, I actually get a boost for the online earnings as well for an hour. So something like this, that actually gives me a lot of income, we're gonna go ahead and upgrade, because why wouldn't we? And even then we can supercharge it at some point once they get high enough, so we can get all the way up to an extra 100% income. So we're going to do the same with the next thing we're about to unlock, because that's just going to give us more and more earnings. Hopefully I don't need those gems for anything else. I have a quest right now to buy 3 PCs, so that's nice and easy. Now we get an 80 times tap boost for 10 seconds, which will work out to quite a bit. And then I earn $305,000 by tapping, so that means I get another boost. So off we go. And that gave us about $30 million. Why is there a tank going down the road? Oh, okay. Well, there's a free $20 million, which means we get a chill out area. Better be nice for $20 million. And after a few more boosts, we're up to $55 million to spend, which is almost enough for the next something, but I should probably upgrade the ASIC miner before doing anything. Not entirely sure of this, but it's got the boosts anyway, so I might as well let it rip. We only got 8 levels of it, but that put us up to about $90,000 per second. I'm also curious to see what a crypto upgrade would do right now. So we're making $406 per click. Once we spend $10 million there, we're making $658. That's like a 50% boost. So I guess it just depends on how much I want to actually click. When we're doing this, we're up to about $200,000 a second. But without it now, we're up to $180,000 a second anyway, so we're not going to bother too much with that. I'm just going to keep getting my ASIC miner a little bit closer to level 25. And I got a reward to get a whole bunch of cars automatically delivering me a bunch of money. So we'll just sit back and let the money roll in. One of those cars jumped off like $50 million all by itself. We have $270 million now. So I guess we'll buy more of these ASIC miners. We're going to run out of money very quickly buying these. But we put ourselves up to $241,000 a second. Oh, it's a gaming PC that's next. $62 million for a gaming PC. I'm all about it. That's going to give me $1,845 for each level. And we have a quest for 2 high-end graphics cards. That's only going to be about $25 million, so we're going to do that, because that's going to give us a nice reward. 6 cars in a row, and these can be pretty valuable. Everything was a basic reward with the exception of the last one, which is still not a great one compared to what it could have been, but we're still going to make lots of money with it. And because we tapped 6 vehicles, apparently that was a quest, so now we're making $6 million per second. So we're just going to let that run out quite nicely. Oh, we're making $6 million a second for the next 40 seconds, so I might as well also spin this wheel and hope for some kind of big bonus too. Receive cash worth 300 times your miner's income per second. Hopefully those multiply off each other. Whatever the case, there's $160 million. So we get a doghouse. Doesn't come with a dog though. Since we're making all this money, let's try and get the ASIC miner up to level 25. It's still going to take one more click, but that's going to come pretty quickly. At least I hope it is. We're going to run out of time. There's one more second left. We're up to $123 million plus some extra tapping bonus. And was that enough to do it? It actually was. So the ASIC miner is going to go from 10,000 per second to 30,000 per second, which puts us at 600,000 per second overall. Okay, we also just got a tap 100 times for 20 seconds, so we're going to take advantage of that because that put us up to $4.8 million per second. This one's not going to last a hugely long time, but I'm going to take advantage of that because this is just really easy money. Well, it gave us another $135 million to work with. The next quest is to upgrade my tap to level 19, so there. And then I receive cash with 150 times my miner income. So there's $90 million. Plus my tap is now worth $2,800. And if I touch this one more time, we get a new coin. And my earnings per second is 1.2 million. So yeah, these coins do upgrade the base value as well. The better the base value, the higher the multiplier. Because we went from like $600,000 to 1.2 million. And that means with like any booster at all, we're up to $26 million per second. And for the first time, we've made over $1 billion, and we're still living in the same little house. Don't even have a dog yet. I guess next I'm going to try and upgrade my gaming PC. I could buy a mining rack. I feel like it's not going to be worth it. I feel like it's going to be cheaper to buy 7 of these. We managed to get that all the way to level 12, so we're up to $1.8 million per second, and I get 9 cars in a row, which are probably going to give me some pretty good rewards. Even the basic ones now give me $50 million. If they want to give me more, that's fine too. Some of them gave me 260, so we're up to 1.5 billion. I'm not tight on money anymore, he says, as he's worth $1.5 billion. So I guess I should probably upgrade my coin again, if I can. Well, there's 2 levels of it. And since I upgraded my tap to level 22, I'm about to get a 100 times boost for 20 seconds. So that's going to put my earnings per second up to 100 million. $100 million per second. Wouldn't that be nice? Which leaves us with 2.7 billion, and we now get a garden. These upgrades are getting expensive though. There's 1.2, the next one's going to be 2.5, the one after that's probably going to be like 5, so I'm going to need 7.5 billion to get the next coin. In the meantime, I can always work on my gaming computer, and then whatever else I want really, because I'm rich. I can try and get my old PC up to level 50. There we go, now it's making $2,000 a second, and that just tipped us over $2 million per second naturally. I now have a quest to tap 450 times. So that should go down pretty quickly, and then we'll get some kind of nice booster off of that. Plus I got the cars coming in again, and they auto unload so I don't have to touch them, so that's pretty great. They're not giving me a ton yet, but $60 million is nothing to complain about. And there's my 400 something taps, that's going to give me 9 cars in a row again. And then I got another booster. I'm pretty much living on these boosters, so I'm up to $45 million a second. So that means I'm going to buy another one of these, $5 billion for the next one. We have $1 billion right now. Plus my tap is worth $64,000. Oh, plus I can finally write my crypto book for only $318 million. Why wouldn't I? I'm not entirely sure what that did, but that's fine. Oh, and because we got $111 million by tapping, we got rewards from our rewards. 300 times my miner income, so there's $700 million. So let's upgrade our coin from Bitcoin Flash to blockchain saw coin. So now our base income is 4.2 million per second, and every click is worth $214,000. So the money is still rolling in. Normally in games it starts to slow down a little bit. This one's really holding its pace. Or passively, $10 million a second and growing. Okay, better make that $11 million a second. Plus we get to spin the wheel. This game just gets you addicted to all the numbers and money again and again and again, and I'm all about it. Like this, now we get 100 times tap boost for 20 seconds, which is going to put us up probably close to $1 billion per second. $800 million per second. I could live with that for a little while. That's going to help us get some of those expensive upgrades. Okay, that brought us up to about $16 billion, so we're definitely one of the richest people in the world. And we now have roof solar panels because we need to save on electricity. So these are add-ons apparently that I can add to my stuff. 20% increased production. So we can add 20% to this, and that's going to be a huge boost of 30,000 per second. So we're going to go ahead and spend 15 gems to open another one of those boxes to hopefully get an epic booster. This is a unique common 5% boost production of all miners. I could live with that. So there's $13.3 million per second without doing anything at all. It's getting hard to know what to upgrade any further. So we're going to buy a mining rack. That's going to give me 8,000 per second. Then we're also going to buy a supercomputer just because we can. That's going to give me 40,000 per second. The gaming PC is supposed to be a supercomputer. That's what the game doesn't understand. But let's start working on this mining rack. It's extraordinarily expensive. I should start paying attention to what the quests really are because they tend to be pretty good. We're making $20 million a second. And we also just got 2.5 billion from a cash reward. And now we get 6 cars in a row as well. The money just really, you don't have to work for it. I hardly know what to upgrade anymore. Everything makes me so much money, but it's all getting so expensive. I've got $30 billion to spend, so I'm going to go for mining racks for now. We got that to level 16. We're up to almost $25 million per second. The next quest is tapping 1,200 times. That's actually going to go by really, really quick. 1,200 taps done, we get 300 times bonus, so there's another $6 billion. So that means we get the next coin level at least. So now our taps are worth $600,000. And then our reward is getting 100 times boost. So now we're making $60 million per tap, and we're tapping a lot. We're currently making $2 billion per second for the next 11 seconds. Which leaves us with $45 billion plus a wheel spin. We spin that and we get a 22 times miner boost. I think we got double that also. So $520 million per second right now. And buying 28 PC is going to get us a boost. But before doing that, I want better coins, potentially. What does it mean by 28 PC? Does it mean gaming PC? Nope, it means regular old PC. Do we have to buy 28 of these? Is that right? Yep, I can see it counting down in the background. I don't know how much money I'm spending on this, but I don't really care because we get whatever this is. $3 billion boost. The next quest is tapping 5 vehicles, and that seems like it's going to be pretty easy to do. We also get a sailboat now because we're finally starting to splurge just a little. In saying that, I'm going to spend some of my $35 billion on these. Another 5 levels, those get doubled. And I still get a boost for 30 seconds. We're currently making $600 million a second, so we'll be able to afford some nice things fairly quickly. Plus we get a nice little boost to $7 billion, so 3 more levels there, which will be worth about $50 billion. Which we're about halfway there already. Plus a little boost there, $26 billion out of the probably 50 that we need. Next, it wants us to tap $1.3 billion. That will take a little while, so I'm going to wait for a booster to dive into that. Or, like usual, I'm going to get impatient waiting and just start diving into it anyway, hoping that it'll get done. We only have 900 million left. And the booster is just about done, the quest rather, which will get us a booster. And we get 150 times cash reward. But it's probably enough to get us... Oh, we're 2 billion away. This wheel spin might get us there, though. Well, now I've got enough, so this is going to go from $200,000 to $650,000 per second. Next quest is to buy 4 gaming PCs for about $10 billion. I lost count. Is that it? Now I get cash worth 300 times my miner per second, which is $15 billion. Another simple tap quest is done, and now we get 150 times value plus a box. Anything good? 5% increased production of the next 5 miners below. Well, fittingly, we could put that right here, and the 5 miners below it are all very good ones. So we're up to about $60 million per second. And the next upgrade here is only $80 billion. 160 billion, and we'll get our next coin. And that's not really going to take long at all, because we're already up to about $60 billion of that. Plus we have a quest complete, so there's another 7.5 billion, plus a spinny wheel, which will get us just a little. Now I have a quest to tap 500 times, but because I can use 6 fingers at once, we're going to get there very quickly, plus that car. But we had to do, was it 500 taps, 600 taps? Whatever the case, we're just about there already. And I'm not even trying that hard. I'm being a little bit lazy about this still. But for that lazy effort, I now get $7.5 billion. Okay, and I just got a 100 times tap boost for a few seconds, so we're now making $6 billion per second. Well, let's call it between 5 and 6 because I'm inconsistent, but that's lots of money. We're at $150 billion total. We still have 7 seconds left at $5 billion per second, so that's going to be lots of money. Plus, I get some automatic cars in a row, which is never a bad one because they just dump off money. So I think we can afford our next coin, so that's going to take us from 58 million per second up to $112 million per second. And every time I tap, I get $4.6 million. So even with a very moderate booster, we're getting $186 million per click, and there's a lot of clicks happening. $7 billion a second, that's a new record for us. More supercomputers it is. I bought a lot more of those than I thought I would be able to afford. $150 million per second without doing anything at all. Okay, this will be the big one. We've got 100 times boost now after all these upgrades. So what's this going to bring us up to? $20 billion per second. I'm seeing $18 billion per second on the high end, which seems like lots of money to me, considering we started out at $1 per second, which is actually still a lot now that I think about it. Okay, so whatever the case, we just made $364 billion in like a few seconds. So just imagine what we're going to be able to do next time.